This week we're going to talk about angles in the coordinate plane. Standard position angles for today are the basis of all of these other angles that you're going to learn over the next few days. Now you know an angle, it consists of two rays with a common vertex point. When we position them on the coordinate plane, on the x-axis, y-axis, that initial ray of the angle is always the positive end of the x-axis when we're talking about a standard angle. And then the other ray, which is called the terminal ray, is spinning around either counterclockwise for positive angles or clockwise for negative angles. So if you have your initial ray on the positive end of the x-axis and it spins to this point here, that gives you a 35-degree angle. The vertex is at the origin, and the positive end of the x-axis is the initial, and the terminal ray here. Now we know, and something you need to remember, is that your angles are going to start from 0 degrees on the positive end of the x-axis. And if they spin up to the y-axis, that would be 90 degrees. And if they spin over to the negative end of the x-axis, that's 180 degrees. Down at the bottom here is 270 degrees. Now, if we're going the other direction and going negative, let's say also if it comes all the way around, that's 360 degrees, also the same spot. So a whole circle is 360 degrees. And then they're negative if we start at the positive end of the x-axis, but we're spinning clockwise for negative, that gives me down here negative 90 degrees. Over here, negative 180 degrees. Up here, negative 270 degrees. And then, all the way around, we have negative 360 degrees. So that's how you're going to use your measurements. And we have some definitions over here to help you out with that terminal ray, initial ray, how the standard position looks. Now, a couple of examples down here. Draw an angle in standard position with these given measures. 210 degrees, has an initial ray, always, positive end of the x-axis, and that would spin 90, 180, and then another 30 degrees, and so you'd land down here in quadrant 3. Negative 160 degrees still starts positive end of the x-axis initial ray, but then we have to spin backwards. Negative 90 and then another negative 70 degrees. So your initial ray also stops in the third quadrant.